Hey guys, this is a key guide for the TerraGroup Labs residential unit keycard, and at the time that I'm making this video, this is going to be a 2-use key that has 11 potential spawns on labs, and there will be a single keycard that is guaranteed to spawn every single raid in one of the locations, which I will be showing you guys in this video. But just know that you can also buy the keycard directly off the flea market, where it does usually sell for around 120 to 200k rubles for a 2-of-2 use key. Now on the screen I do have a map of the location of the locked room, as well as all of the 11 potential spawns for this keycard that are going to be located inside the containment block section. And this area was added during the Halloween event last wipe, and it is just next to the blue keycard room. So my PMC is here on labs, and then the black keycard room is going to be right here, and then just to my right is where the server room is located. So now that I did give you guys these two landmarks, if I do turn back around, then I will bring us all the way to the end of this hallway, and then the blue keycard room will be just on our right. And then straight past this tent at the end of this hallway will be a set of double doors. Now inside of here is going to be the location of the containment area, and inside of here is going to be our first potential spawn, which will be inside the first room on your right hand side behind this green binder up on the desk. Usually what I end up doing is just jumping up on the table in order to properly look behind it to make sure it's not here. And then after checking here, the second potential spawn will be back out the door and then to the right all the way down. And then you will come to a couple closed doors, and just across from the door on your right will be a red chair where the keycard can spawn on. Now the third potential spawn will be behind me on the floor, just on the left hand side of this rack behind the explosive barrel. And just a tip is that before I do end up running back here in a real raid, usually I will blow up this barrel just so that people can't use it against me. Now all of the other spawns will require that you do hit this electrical switch in the room just right here, which will open up the door to the locked laboratory area. And once you do end up going through here, then the fourth spawn is going to be just to the right and into the first room that you do come to. And then on your left, on top of the desk inside of this mug, is the potential spawn. And then if you do turn directly around, then the fifth spawn is going to be on top of this other desk inside of the desk calendar. Now the sixth spawn will be back out of this room and into the first glass laboratory on the far left side. Now as you do go into this room, then you do want to go around the desk onto the opposite side, and then checking in between the desk and on top of this cabinet will be the sixth spawn. The seventh spawn is just going to be slightly more to your left and on top of the desk inside of this centrifuge. Now if you do continue left, then the eighth spawn will be on top of this desk in the far right corner of the room underneath this chess piece looking thing. And now after checking these three spawns in this room, then the ninth spawn, you will have to leave this glass lab and then take a left down the hallway. And then you do want to take another left where you will have a dead end and then the potential spawn on top of this electrical box here. Now turning back around, the 10th spawn will be in the far back glass lab on top of the desk on your left just in front of this chair. And then the 11th and final spawn will be on the far right side of this back glass laboratory area behind this whiteboard on top of the marker tray. Now once you have found the keycard, or if you did bring one into raid with you, then the location of the locked room is going to be at the very back of the initial section of this containment block, right beside the second and third potential keycard spawns that I showed you guys earlier. So once you do get back to this location, then it will be the door that's marked 07. Now once you do swipe the keycard and then enter in, then you can shut the door behind you, and then you will be able to just kind of freely open and shut the door, but so will anybody else who does come after you. But just know that it won't lock you in, similar to what the red keycard room does. Now inside of this room, it can have some pretty cracked loot, so the bookshelf on your immediate left will be the first place for you to check, and it can have blue folders or intelligence folder spawns on here, as well as some loose valuable loot like rollers or bitcoins or badges and skull rings. And in one single raid I have had 3 intelligence folders spawn, or 2 intel, and then also 1 blue folder. But then there can also be a spawn on the very top shelf, which can be very difficult to get unless you do have a teammate that you can jump on their back in order to boost you up, so just be aware of that. Now further into the room, then the bunk bed on your left can have multiple valuable spawns on top of the lower mattress. So there can be 3 potential valuable spawns here, with one of the Bitcoin spawns being just underneath the corner of the pillow. So just be sure to check that. And then down beneath the bed, it's a good idea to go prone to check underneath there, because there can be weapon spawns like an RSS or an HK. And then up on the very top of the bunk bed, then there can be a duffel bag spawn. Now at the back center of the room, then there can be 3 potential valuable spawns here. So just make sure to go and hover your mouse over top of this area to see if you do get a perception dot, just because there can be a Bitcoin that does phase into some of the items on top of the desk. And then just so you guys know, there can also be a duffel bag spawn underneath as well. Now over to the other bunk bed on the right hand side of the room, then you can actually have valuable spawns on the slats of the lower bunk that can be on the right or also the left of this lower bunk area. And then you can also have valuable spawns that are underneath as well. So it is, again, a good idea to go prone just to check and see if you do have anything there. And then you can also have valuable spawns on the beanbag chair just to the right of the bunk bed in the corner. And then I have had Bitcoins and also Veritas picks spawn here. And then you can also have a potential duffel bag that spawns in between the beanbag chair and also this other chair. Now, I always go and stand on top of the beanbag chair just to check up on top of the bunk on this far right side. However, I've never had anything that does spawn here. So in my opinion, this key is absolutely cracked and definitely worth running, even if you do end up having to buy it for the upper end of the normal price range, being 200K for a 2-use key. The chance of a Bitcoin is very high, as well as the Intel folders and also blue folders, as well as other valuables if you do end up needing those. Realistically, the main thing on labs is surviving after you do end up looting the room. So again, if that's a huge concern, then maybe it won't be worth it for you. But if you are able to survive an extract, then it would definitely be a worthwhile key to pick up. So hopefully you guys found this key guide useful. It does help you guys to decide if you wanted to buy, keep, or sell this key. So thank you guys for checking out my video on this, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one.